Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Charlie's Journey YouTube channel. I'm Charlie. If you are new here and this is one of the first videos of mine that you've seen, I hope that you like the content and you will subscribe. And to my current subscribers, thank you for coming back and supporting me as always. Today, yes, very casual video today. I'm in a different location in my house. It's been a bit manic this week and I really want to get a video out this week. I don't know if this is going to be Sunday's video or Wednesday's video, I'm unsure, but guys, I'm doing my best. I thought we'd have a bit more of a casual chat today, a bit more of a casual one than usual. I still have notes though, because if I don't. So today I'm going to be talking about probably one of the very first, if not the very first red flag / hint that I got that my religion, my old religion, was possibly not true. I'll just preface this by firstly saying, don't want to offend anybody who is religious. So if you're religious and you think you might be offended by people who are not religious talking about religious stuff, maybe don't watch this video. I'm not trying to be critical of anybody in particular. I'm just talking about my experience. Right, that said and done. So this happened, I think it's 2013. Something tells me it was 2013. I brushed it off and I kept on going for a further 5 years after that. I was thinking about this the other day because I came across a video that made me think, oh yes, I remember this. So back in 2013/14, I was introduced to the world of MLMs. If you're not sure what an MLM is, it's multi-level marketing. Basically, think of your old Avon lady. That's an MLM. It's your Arbonne, it's your Herbalife, it's your, what's the other one to do with essential oils? There's a number of essential oil ones, but they're all MLMs. MLMs is a fancy way of basically saying it's a way that you market a company's products by selling them for, like, acting as a representative for the company, although you are yourself self-employed, but you represent the company to sell the products to obviously members of the public. But the bulk of the money that you receive comes from recruiting people to come on board and also sell those same products to others. So although it's pitched to you as, yeah, it's a way for you to have your own business, it's not quite like that. Anyway, back to what I'm trying to say. So 2013, 2014, I was at home with my oldest child, who was young at the time. He was only a toddler, or nursery school age, preschool age. And I was looking at ways to make money from home. And as I said, I got introduced to the world of MLMs, and I was told I could have my own business and I would be able to make a good amount of money. I was pitched the whole compensation package, which seemed almost too good to be true when they tell you how much money you can potentially earn from doing MLMs. For a small joining fee, you can basically have your own virtual office and you will be able to go and sell these products and make a good commission and eventually become financially free. So I was like, yes, I'm on board. I'm a very business-minded person. I'm very entrepreneurial. So I was like, yes, this sounds great. I can do this from home while looking after my child. I have been involved with, I'd probably say 3 or 4 different MLMs in my little lifetime. And they all were exactly the same in the way that they pitched the business opportunity to me, as they call it, and the compensation packages were very similar in terms of very high numbers that you could, potential earnings were very high. You get to be embraced into, you know, a great community of people who will support you through your business, and you can ask them questions at any time. And, you know, those who have recruited you are there to help you to be able to also do the same thing. And while I was involved in one particular MLM, I'm not going to mention them because there's no need to, but I was involved with one particular one. And it was while and I got pretty involved with this one, because with the others, I signed up, tried it for like a couple of weeks, and I was like, this isn't working for me, and let it go. But this one particular one, I really wanted it to work. I'm going to go full force with this and really try to make it work, because I really want to have my own business from home, to be able to support my family and contribute to, you know, my household, etc. In that way. So, but it was while I was involved with this MLM that I began to notice some stark similarities between this MLM company, and when I thought about it, all the MLM companies that I'd got involved with, they all had a stark similarity to my own religion. What does she mean? What does she mean? This is where the notes come in. So I've got here, first point, they both hook you in with the promise or reward of something. They are trained to be very enticing, have a very enticing message, lots of really lovely, they have lots of lovely social media posts that they put out, great photographs of images of very appealing lifestyles and different things like that. They are very good adverts for the companies, yeah. And similar to the JWs, you know, they've got brilliant magazine. They've had brilliant magazines that have been very successful over the years, brilliant literature that people have actually really enjoyed reading. And that's one thing I will say, when I used to preach, people did used to say, I'm not really interested in joining you guys, but you know, you write, your articles are really good, your magazines are very good, or the book you gave me was very interesting. We did all, that was one positive comment that I did get quite frequently. So they were quite good at being a good advert, just like the MLMs. Another thing is, they were very, each member of the MLM companies I got involved with were very friendly, very like super friendly, super almost over familiar in the beginning, like calling you Han or babe, or, you know, saying that they had your best interest at heart when, you know, when it came to wanting to share the opportunity with you. They cared about you. Like I said, they want the best for you. Again, very similar to the JWs. When they go out preaching, you know, JWs are very, very friendly. They're very, very friendly, very polite, personable individuals. And if you work with any of them, or if you've ever come across any of them, for the most part, you will find that they are very, very friendly, polite, helpful, nice individuals. And the MLM people were very, very hauntingly similar. Very, very super nice. As I said, like telling you they'll be your friend, and that, you know, you're going to, if you join them, you're going to be joining, as I said, a community of people that are going to support you in your business, that are going to be there for you, and going to they have the same sort of mindset as you when it comes to business, the same sort of mindset as you when it comes to wanting better for your life. Again, a bit like the JWs, who when they go out speaking to people on their preaching work, do express that they love people, they care about people, they want the best. And the reason they go out to share their message and try and get people to come along to their Kingdom Hall or join them is because they love them. They genuinely love them. They want the best for them. And how that the best way they can help them is to share God's message and to try and get them to come along and and join so that they can save their lives too, and that kind of thing. Very similar. Even some of the wording, when I remember a couple of the reps that would sign me up to some of these MLMs, even the wording they used, I was like, that's something I would say, because obviously I was a witness at the time. I think to myself, that's something I would say. You know, it was weird. With the MLM that I joined, again, I noticed they had, I think probably what it was that made me even start thinking along these lines is the fact that when I went along to their sort of like recruitment session, this MLM, they expose you to the people that brought me on board, told me about the type of training that you're going to get. All of them will say to you, you're going to get extensive training on how to sell our product, and you know, you'll get as much support as you need. And again, that training to be able to sell their product reminded me very much of the training that I was receiving as a JW, to be able to share the preaching message with people. That, for instance, MLM, the all four of the, or five of the companies that I were briefly involved with, all talked about showing personal interest in people, picking out something about that person to basically impress them by showing them that you know, remember something they might have told you. Do they have children? If they have kids, remember that. Have they mentioned their kids' names? You know, say, oh, how are, you know, little Johnny and Susie? Don't know what their names come from, but how are little Johnny and Susie? If they're interested in, you know, Marvel or DC, you know, movies, you know, bring it up. That was very, very similar to the training I received as a JW. Show personal interest in others. That's what it was called. To endear them to the message, to make them curious as to why, you know, oh, this person, oh, that's so nice that this person has genuinely remembered something about me and seems to care. That's how I took it. It was very, very similar. And that's when I thought, I actually even said it to my friend at the time who had introduced me to this MLM. I said to her, do you not see a lot of similarities to our preaching and to this whole recruitment training program that this MLM and that other one that I've known? They all have said this, you know, they're very good at training people to sell these products, but it's very similar to how we're taught to preach. And my friend said she hadn't thought about it until I said it, but she was like, yeah, actually, you're spot on. And that kind of disturbed me, because I thought, then how genuine are we being when we're going out preaching? It disturbed me, and I said that's why I had to put it to the back of my head. Anyway, back to my note. Another similarity is with the MLM companies I joined, the biggest reason I left and said I don't want to do this anymore, giving my money back or my joining fee back, is because these people aren't clear, are they, about the fine print, and they're not really clear about how things really go. They don't let you know that the real way that you make significant amounts of money in any MLM business is by recruiting. They tell you that you will have time freedom, you just sell a few of our products and you will get commission based off of that. And, you know, the products are very easy to sell. They make it sound very, very easy. But all of a sudden, once you're in and you've paid your joining fee, you see them starting to push the fact that not only do you have to buy yourself, as in put your hand into your own pocket to buy those products to sell them. You're not just given the products and then you sell them and then you make money. You have to buy them. You have to buy inventory sometimes. And sometimes it's in order for you to be, I don't know, even to make the join-in fee back, you have to buy a significant amount of inventory to be able to sell it, which means you're already out of pocket straight out the jump. But you don't realize that until you've signed on the dotted line. And like I said, you then start to realize that they're pushing, that they want you to recruit more people. They want you to speak to your mom, speak to your husband, speak to your best friend, speak to as many people. They get you to write down 100 different names of people that you know, that you can somehow out of the blue start contacting, either by social media or the usual avenues, calling people up or texting people to let them know that you now have this business, and see if they would be interested in, one, becoming a customer. And if they don't want to become a customer, would they be interested in the business opportunity? And I was like, okay, you didn't tell me. This is not something you told me before I paid the joining fee. And if you had told me I would have to write down 100 names of people I know to try and sell it to them, or to try and make them a customer, which that part wasn't so bad because some of the products were decent, and that part of it wasn't bad because the products worked. So it was quite easy to be able to genuinely pass on that message that, yeah, okay, are you guys interested? Because this thing is actually a good product. But the whole recruiting thing and trying to ask them if they wanted to join the business opportunity, I wasn't down with that, and I wasn't aware that that was part of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have become involved, clearly, because that's not, I say clearly, but that's just not for me. And again, it reminded me of my religion, that you're not going to speak to somebody, knock on someone's door and tell them the full reason, genuine reason why you're there, which is to try and get them to, the bottom line is you're there because you want them to become a Jehovah's Witness. But if somebody calls you out on that when you're on the door and says to you, I don't want to convert to being one of you, your automatic response, and 10 out of 10, I would say 10 out of 10 Jehovah's Witnesses will, in that situation, will say, oh, we're not here to convert you. We're just sharing a message, a loving message from the Bible. One of the XJW channels I've subscribed to, he made a great TikTok. I can't even try to replicate it, but I thought I've got to mention it in this video because he was so spot on, and he basically mentioned exactly what I just said in his TikTok video. But he actually said to his followers, test it for yourself. Next time you come into contact with a JW on, who wants to try and preach to you, whether it be at your door or their little carts that they have, ask them, say to them, I will 100% study the Bible with you, but I want you to know and understand and be clear that I will never become one of you. No matter how much I learn, no matter how much I enjoy it, I will never become one of you. Watch to see what happens. Watch to see if they still want to preach to you, still want to come and see you after that. Just test it. So yeah, essentially, all that friendliness and feigning interest in people in order to recruit them, telling them that they've got this amazing supportive network of people that will support you through your business, what you're doing, and help you to be as successful as possible so you can have the life that you want. All of that is a wonderful pitch, but it is just that, it's a pitch. Because the second you decide that it's not for you, that whole friendly, oh, you're part of the group, can turn very sour very quickly. Thankfully, I wasn't targeted by anybody, but I've heard a lot of horror stories from people that have joined MLMs and got a lot more involved with it than I ever did. And when they left, because it wasn't for them anymore, everybody turned on them. People would batter them on social media, say horrific things about them, you know, especially, God forbid, you speak up about an MLM company that you've had a bad experience with and you just want to warn others. Even more so, you'll be bashed, you'll be harassed. The nail in the coffin for me when I was like, yeah, this is too similar to my religion, was when the person who introduced me to it was a really good friend of mine at the time. Really good, like really good friend. We were very close. And after my experience with the MLM situation, because she chose to continue pursuing it and I didn't, because of all the things I've mentioned, the fact that I was losing money, I felt it was all very fake. They weren't very clear, or, you know, I just felt it was very misleading. She didn't. And she continued with it. And it affected our friendship. To this day, we don't speak. And 100%, I believe that played a massive factor in it. I won't say it was all of it, because clearly there must have been other things why we couldn't resolve our friendship. But that was a massive thing that severed it. And then when I spoke to other people that had also had similar experiences to me, they said the same things. I don't speak to my best friend anymore. It caused problems between me and my husband because I was spending so much money, and my husband said, do you not understand that this is all a scam? This is all a pyramid scheme, or, you know, people pleading with their loved ones, or people falling out with their loved ones because their loved ones wouldn't buy from them or they didn't believe in them, and it's caused a lot of problems. And I was like, isn't that very reminiscent of something else I know? And now again, I'm experiencing it because I have decided to walk away from my religion. All of that love and protection and care that I had grown up knowing was immediately withdrawn the second I said, I don't want to be part of this anymore. So I found that very interesting. What are you guys' thoughts on what I've said? Have you ever been involved with an MLM? Do you know what I mean? If you have been involved with an MLM, then you've definitely been closer to the JW religion than you realise. Or you know, you're a little bit more familiar with the JW religion than you realise, just in a different way. But yeah, I thought I'd share that one for today's video, because that was a big thing and there are just so many similarities there. I've just picked out the main ones I could think of, but there's a lot more probably that I've missed. If you like the content, please like, comment and subscribe. It does so much for me. Thank you for your continued support. I apologise, and please bear with me if I have not responded to your comment or your email. It's just like I said in the beginning, it's very, very manic at the moment, but I haven't forgotten everybody. I hope everyone's well, and I'll see you on my next one.